and we're here in Matagot booth to have a quick look at the upcoming game Enis.
So yes, the Enis is the new game that will come out in our XL collection, where we already have Cyclades, Kemets, so it will be a very big box. And this game is about Celtic mythology. So in this game, each player takes the role of a clan. So you have these little figurines here. I should point out that this is the final components, except that it will not be pre-painted. Mm-hmm. So this is a fan who actually painted the figurine for us, but this is exactly what they will look like, except for the color. So
on these buildings as well.
Exactly. So we have several miniatures. These are citadels. These are sanctuaries. The only non-final components are these. This is from another game of ours. So at the end, it will be probably some cardboard tokens instead of these weird stones. So in this game, you are the head of a clan, and you want basically to get some dominion over this land here. The land is made of these. It's actually 3 hexagons, but we cut them in a weird shape to make them more terrain-like. So there are actually 3 ways to win this game. The first way is to be present in 6 different territories. So at the beginning of the game there are only 4 territories, but you have here a draw pile of other territories, and as the game progresses you will be able to put more terrains on the board. So first way to win the game is to be present in 6 different territories. The second way to win the game is to be present in territories for a total amount of 6 sanctuaries. Like this. So there can be several sanctuaries in the same land. So if you have a total of 6 sanctuaries, you win the game. And the last way you can actually win the game is to be the chieftain of 6 tribes. So what does that mean? It's a question of majority. So let's say I'm doing this example. I'm the chieftain of the Misty Land here, because I have the majority. So in this case, in this example, I'm the chieftain of 3 clans. Okay, because I have the majority in this land. There are 3 other clans in this land, so I'm the chieftain of 3 clans. So if I have something like this, I'm the chieftain of 4 clans, and so on. And if I'm the chieftain of 6 clans, I've again won the game. So basically, the goal is to achieve one of these 3 victory conditions. Now, how does the game works? And this is really the spice of the game, is these cards here. You have a few cards here, and at the beginning of each round, you will do a draft. So each person will receive 4 cards. You select one, pass the others, kind of like 7 Wonders, and you pass them around until everybody again has 4 cards in their hand. And after that, on your turn, you just perform an action. Performing an action basically means playing a card which has this symbol here. Mm-hmm. So there are 2 different kind of symbol. It's either this symbol or this one. Mm-hmm. This means that it's an action, so you can actually play this card on your turn. This is actually a reaction. It's depending on a certain condition. If something happens, a specific things happens during the game, you can actually react by playing this card maybe. So some cards actually have both. Like this one, which means that this card can either be used as an action on your turn, or it can be used as a reaction depending on what happens on the board. And basically that's it. So you have these 4 cards. You can get more cards. These yellow cards that I was showing previously are cards that are linked or tied to a tile, to a terrain. For example, if I'm the chieftain of the Misty Land, I will get in addition to my green cards, I will get this yellow card, Inspiration of the Misty Land, which actually gives me another action that I can play on my turn. And same thing, whoever is the chieftain here of the plains will get the card, the Vastness of the Plains, which will give this player an additional action. So what's really interesting is that by using this drafting mechanism, is that you actually kind of know which actions the other players can do, because I have my 4 cards, I'm giving you this, so I know what I gave you, so I kind of know what you are able to do, which action you can do. And the actions there are various actions. Some of the actions are simply to, for example, build a citadel or maybe build a sanctuary. Other actions are movements. So I could decide, for example, I don't know, maybe do something like this if I'm the orange player, to move into this land here. And this is a very, very interesting part of the game, is that in most games that are that kind of game, when you move inside a terrain that is occupied by another player, there is a battle going on, okay? But in this game, it's not always the case. So if I move here, I can say, I come in peace. Do you accept the peace? And then the other players that are present in this terrain can say, yes, I will accept the peace, or no, I don't want to be at peace, let's fight. So what's the interest of being at peace? In this example, for the specific example here, since blue has the majority, if another player comes here and say, I want to come in peace, it's at his advantage, because that means that now he is the chieftain of 4 tribes, while previously he was the chieftain of 3 tribes. So it could be beneficial for him to say, yeah, okay, you come in peace, and that's fine, we'll coexist on this tile. And this is very interesting because there is some negotiation going on, and you have to think, yeah, I don't want to fight all the time. Sometimes I will let people invade my territory, or maybe simply I don't want to lose my guys, so I don't want to go into a battle. If there is a battle, then the battle is very simple. On your turn, you have to do a maneuver, and the maneuver can be either retreat, so you can say, okay, I really don't want to fight, I'm retreating, I'm moving to another territory, which is not a good idea in this case, or you can decide as a maneuver to attack. So let's say orange player wants to attack. He decides who he will attack. Let's say he will attack blue. In this case, I have 2 possibilities. Either I lose one of my guy, or I discard one of my action cards, my green cards. So it's obviously a very tough decision, because discarding a card means I will perform less actions, but losing a guy means I'm less present on the board. So that's a decision I will have to make. And then everybody who takes part of in the fight will decide whether they want to attack, to retreat, and if they attack, the target player needs to decide whether he discards a card or if he removes a guy. One thing I should say maybe first, so let's again take the example, this is an invader, so I'm coming here. In the clockwise order, starting with the first player, since there is a citadel here, a player can decide to say, yeah, I want to hide in my citadel, I will not take part in the battle. So the battle will take place, some characters will, some guys will be removed from the board, and let's say it's the end of the game, the guy steps out of the citadel and he didn't take part in the fight. Okay? And so again, what's really interesting, in the very first turns, the very first games you play are a bit slow because you need to very carefully read the cards, but after the second turn it's always the same cards that come into play, so you actually know them by heart and you know exactly what you can do with these cards, and the game goes actually very, very quickly, and it's a very, very tense game because everybody can go in different directions to get the victory conditions. So the last thing I should say is that almost on every turn, one player will receive what we call a deed. And a deed is currently represented by these stones, but again, this is not the final material, and it's something that you keep in front of you. And it's actually a joker for the victory conditions. So let's say I have this. Now I only need to be present in 5 territories, because it's 5 territories plus 1 here, or 5 sanctuaries because I have 1. And again, if I have a second deed, then I only need 4, and so on and so on. And this is actually why the game will end eventually, because almost every turn one player will receive one of these deeds. So the game will progress and will actually speed up. And the last thing is that we have other cards here, which are the epic tales. And these epic tales actually gives you provide you the benefit of one of the I would say famous characters of the Celtic mythology, and these are very, very powerful cards that you can play on your turn. Again, they have the action symbol, and it's a one-time use. So you use them, you discard them, and then they are gone, and they give you tremendous advantages throughout the game. And these are again cards that you can gain depending on certain conditions when you play these green cards. And so, yeah, basically that's how the game works. It's a very, very tense game, I think very thematic. All these epic tales here, they really match whatever the mythology, the legend of these characters did. So it's very, very thematic, very tense game. There is really a tension around the table, which I've almost never seen before. So it's for me it's really a great game, very, very, very interesting game.
How long does it take approximately?
It depends. As I said on the first game, since you will take some time to read the card, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. But usually I would say 1 hour and a half to 2 hours. If you have very, very good players that are very focused on what happens on the board, it can drag a little bit longer, because when I get to 5 territories, you'll start to block me and so on. But again, since you have this deeds system, eventually the game will end. So, but I would say, to be on the safe side, I would say 2 hours.
And this is up to 4 players?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, 3 to 4 players actually.
Okay.
3 or 4.
And these tiles are like basically final design as well. So I mean the art.
The art is almost final, not completely. The way the shape here, we're not completely sure yet. That's something we tried for this prototype. To make them look less like hexagon, less like a war game, basically, because it's not a war game. Even if they can be battles, not most of the time, but several times during the game, you'll see that peace is actually a very good solution, and you don't want to fight because it can be difficult to bring reinforcements. So that's why we didn't want it to look like a war game with hexagons and so on. So that's a try. It might not be final.
And what do you think? When will be the game published?
The game will be available in the end of February, beginning of March next year.
Okay, not too long to wait.
No, it's almost ready. The rules are ready, definitive. We're just again finalizing the art on the terrain tiles. The art for the cards, for all the cards here, is done by Jim Fitzpatrick, which is a very, very famous illustrator in the role-playing world in the 80s. He's a very famously known for his work on role-playing games. So, and very well known in the Celtic mythology world. So again, this art is final as well. So.
There's one thing I want you to see. All the miniatures. One color has all the miniatures are different. Almost all, which is gorgeous, and all the details. It's amazing. One more thing is, if you can see the tiles, they're different. They're not what you're used to see, and the art on the cards, they're definitely nothing typical. Just something really unique, and I think fits Nordic mythology really well. And the backs of the cards as well. It's just something you don't really see in the games, which makes me really thrilled. Really looking forward to the game. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.